I wanted to come, even if it's for 15-20 minutes. I was like, I have to say hello to everybody here. So good to see you all. Thank you, thank you, thank you. How did I reach Maldives was, I want to share this, but it's a bit funny because I asked my husband to surprise me by bringing me to Maldives. I want to say my husband surprised me, but my community knows how my marriage works. So I was like, sweetheart, wouldn't it be nice if we went to Fish Cove? Sweetheart, wouldn't it be nice actually if we went to Goa? Sweetheart, we are going till Goa. Shouldn't we just go till Maldives? And the last time I was here for my anniversary, same hotel we are staying at, I did feel like we had to rush and leave a little early. So I feel like my 3-4 days was still due. And so I wanted to make that happen. 1 second. This is so much better. Thank you, thank you, thank you everyone. Thank you so much. I also want to take a moment and say that, you know what, we are having to retaliate and respond to all that is happening in our country today, and we as Indians should be so proud that you know what needs to happen. I don't think either of the sides is for war, but sometimes we have to take action for the other people to take us a little more seriously. So I have a whole goddess called Goddess Kali that I cover in my enlightenment program, where I speak about consciously choosing to get into a situation that you know is required for boundaries to be set, for conversations to happen, for conflict to end. So sometimes you have to get into conflict for conflict to end, because if you keep avoiding the difficult conversations, the difficult things that we need to do in our life, sometimes that keeps elongating all that is going wrong. So as Indians, I think we all need to come together and be super proud of the fact that whatever needs to happen will happen, and we trust and have faith in our system, in our government, in our setup that with the least amount of damage. And I don't know how war is least amount of damage. I don't know if I have an understanding of that. But with the least amount of damage, may both sides, we as the people who need that justice, I loved the name. So we who need the justice play the role that we need to put them in their place. And may they also start to understand that we are no longer going to just take anything that they throw at us sitting lying low. So I think both sides needs to understand all of what is going on. Having said that, so proud to be an Indian. All right. On that note, let's get into Q&A. If there's anything you'd like to ask today, I would be happy to help. How do you design your life? Well, to be very honest, I feel like that is something that we have to consciously start to do. Rather, I'm also going to say this, that in the climate of the world that we are in, there is going to be lesser and lesser control that we are going to have on the outer or the external environment. At times in our life when we have lesser control on the outer, we need to have more and more control on the inner. What do I mean by that? All of us need to become super strong with our rituals, with our routines, with our habits, with our behaviors, with our choices. The stronger we become in our routines and rituals, the more in control we will feel in a world where we are going to start to lose control. Isn't that true? So today, if I had to talk about anything, the most important topic would be how in the world where there is instability, we bring stability and peace in our own hearts through the activities that we do. And why I had started today with the meditation music is because I feel like one of the things that make us super strong from within is when we live in our inner world a little more than what we live in our outer world. And so I'd love to encourage every single one of you here today to start to move into creating your life from your inner world, from your inside. What does that mean? Just sit with yourself and ask yourself, who am I? What is my purpose? How can I contribute to this world? What can I bring to this world that will be of need to others? How can I add value? And can I tell you, if you do a good job of what I'm asking you to do, abundance will flow at you at levels you have never imagined. So to every single one of you here, my suggestion is going to be, the world keeps changing. Right now, the study says every 2 years we are actually living in a brand new world. And if that is true, how can we contribute to this brand new world that will now start to have new, which says every 15 minutes it goes off. So I've removed it right now. So happy to see all of you starting to want to, desiring to create a life of your dreams. That is so lovely. And thank you, every single one of you who's wishing me. I really want you to know, 40 to 45th birthday of mine has been by far the best 5 years of my life up until now. It is that period from where, because of COVID, I shifted my entire business to Zoom, and it really helped me Zoom. What I mean by that is that, suddenly everybody in India started to move to Zoom, and what that did for me is, from 10 to 20 clients a month, I went to 300 to 500 clients a month, which is huge, right? And so just the fact that you are here today is because of the impact that the work has been having. And all of what I like to share today is going to be around how each one of us needs to take that responsibility of building a beautiful, amazing life for ourselves. And I feel like too many of us are focusing on other people need to change for our life to change, and that model has stopped working many, many years ago. I feel like if you are in 2025, we need to understand that nobody is going to change unless we change. If there's any way you can change someone else, is when you change yourself. And I don't know how many of us here are going to be waiting for others. It's my spouse, it's my boss, it's my mother-in-law, it's my co-sister, and I will come back for every Insta life to keep repeating, you have two ways to live life. One is the victim journey, and the victim journey is all about blaming someone else and waiting for someone else to change for your life to change. And one journey is going to be about you deciding and saying, you know what, I don't care what others do with their life, that's their life. I know what I need to achieve in my life, and I'm going to start to take full control over my life. Okay, let's go into the Q&A. Life Coach Mahi is saying, do you have any birthday ritual? 90% of the time, my birthday ritual is to come on a holiday close to the ocean and redo all of my goals. So I carried this beautiful book, and I have been writing. And if I can show you the health and fitness goal, the career goal, the financial goal, the relationship goal, the charity goal. So just been working with, I don't know if you could see it. I don't know if I angled it correctly or you got to see only the table. However, that is what I do. Just write out all of my fresh goals, write out my monthly, how I'm going to do the monthly check-in. I have a whole monthly check-in routine. I have a weekly check-in routine. I do future gratitudes of what I want this year to look like. And then I write down 108 gratitudes that are going to happen true for me over the year. So I have a lot of rituals. And if you had to ask me, I didn't need a holiday right now because I've just come back after 22 days of being abroad. And so definitely I didn't need this trip. But I know that this is not a holiday and this is not a trip for fun. This was a very work-oriented life by design trip where I'm literally sitting and designing my own life. And as I design my own life, all the things that I do to design my own life, then I share with my community month after month through Sisterverse, through Goddessverse, through CC, through SS, depending on which program of mine you're with me in, Awakening, Coaching Mastery. I keep on sharing all of those details that how I build my life so that you can build yours. Got it? Awesome. Yes, I am reading about Naval Ravikant. I think he's a phenomenal guy. Rather, I think the top 10 podcasts of last year, almost 3 of them belonged to him. So if you haven't ever heard this name or never researched him, I would recommend go watch some of his podcasts, especially for people who want to start businesses, run businesses, and live that where I feel like he's the man where wealth, or rather business or money, meets happiness. I think a lot of us do believe deep down inside that money doesn't bring happiness, but there's a certain way that you live with money that does bring happiness. So some of his lines I really enjoyed. Let me actually read out some of the things that I had been marking from yesterday. I don't know if I loved this dialogue from this book, which I'm going to read out to you, one of my favorite. The closer you want to get to me, the better your values will have to be. I really liked this sentence. The closer you want to get to me, the more values, or the better your values will have to be. And I'd love for you to just interpret this for yourself. What does this mean? Because I feel like in life, a lot of times we just allow people to come in without having a full, complete understanding of, does this person deserve a piece of my life, a piece of my time, a piece of my energy? I think these are very important questions to ask yourself, especially when you want to start to grow towards making your life the most beautiful life possible. So really like that sentence. I had a few more that I had marked out, but I'm not yet sure I'll be able to find them but some of the things he was saying was so nice. As you build wealth, one of the things be careful is don't start to build your life to match it. Otherwise, you'll always be chasing money. Learning to keep your life as it is while you keep building your wealth is something that is so phenomenal. And I remember when I started back in 2011, one of the things I did very consciously was not upgrade my jewelry, my watches, my bags, my shoes, my clothes. I consciously for 5-7 years didn't upgrade anything, because I was very sure I wanted to invest all of the money back into what I was building, into my education, into courses, into learnings, into traveling to learn, and not in things that make me look rich from the outside. I have no desire to look rich from the outside. This lovely shirt, oops, am I there? This lovely shirt that I'm wearing right now is from the streets of Spain. So I was so excited about that. Totally. And it's literally from the Rasta. Okay. And I want to encourage every one of you that while you are on this journey, be very careful, because money has a way to expand itself and take up your life. Instantly, from the moment you'll start to make money, instantly things will start to appear in your life where you can easily go towards raising your standards and again not having money, and then making more money to live that life, and then making more money to live that life. And while I want all of you to make a lot of money, I don't want you to be chasing money. I want you to be attracting money. And when you are in the mode of attracting money, you need to be very careful about not upgrading your life. Now, what I do to make sure I don't upgrade my life is I start investing rather than expenses. So there's a difference between expenses and investments. If you start to put all of your money in investments, stocks, shares, property, gold, all of that goes up, which is eventually going to give you more money. Money will create more money. Then those are okay to expand your life into. Got it? I hope you got it. Abida is asking how to differentiate between resistance talking to you or your inner self guiding you that it's a burnout and you need to pause and rest. So Abida, what I love doing is anytime I feel like I need to pause and rest, I pause and rest. The best way to know whether you needed to pause and rest is to pause and rest. Take a pause, rest it out. If you feel refreshed to go back again, great. If you feel like, oh, this was actually resistance talking, I could have easily done it, then also you will know what you need to do. So I feel like not enough times we pause and rest, and we need to build pause and rest as one of the systems of our success. What do you think I'm doing in Maldives? I am pausing. I wouldn't say rest, but I am pausing and reflecting. So not resting, but reflecting. So pause and reflect. okay, these are the things I need to do. And I was feeling very guilty because I was like, oh God, 22 days I have just spent in America and Spain and all and come back. Why the hell do I need one more holiday? But this is not a holiday. And that's the thing, how you term your life is going to decide a lot of how your vocabulary decides your life, right? So this is a complete work trip. This is a complete reflection trip. This is a complete, what would I say, trampoline that needs to go down for you to go up. So this is my period of self-reflection so that I can jump up. I had to plan my retreats. I needed to plan a few things. I needed to plan, I wanted to sit in my meditations, the deep meditations that Joe Dispenza made us do, and I was not getting enough time in my regular life to kind of take a pause and see how do I want to place these new informations and this new energy that I have come back so enormously with. And you come back and you get straight into work and you don't get that moments to decide how are you going to recreate your life to match the new knowledge, the new information that you have. Got it? So for everybody here who's feeling like, I don't know whether it's resistance or pause and rest, just pause and rest and check it out. Was it resistance or was it a need for pause and rest? Okay. And I feel like there's nothing wrong in pausing and resting because it's a long journey. Do not live your life like a sprint. Live your life like a marathon. Marathon means you have to learn to pace yourself. Sprint is that, sprint should happen like a 24-hour. Tomorrow is my live event. I can sprint through the 24 hours to take a break after. But life in general, business in general, coaching in general should be run like a marathon. Everyone with me? Able to understand? Please share the name of the book. Oh, I just picked up something randomly from the airport. If you want to see what it is, then this is what it's called. I read almost, a book every 48 hours. So right now I'm reading this so you can see this. But, I just like to pick up those 1, 2, 3 things from every book and then I move to the next book. I'm not someone who devours a book, the whole thing. I like to just... So Kirti Prashant is asking, hey, if I am doing everything to change, why is it I still feel stuck? What needs to happen? Please tell me. And I think, Kirti, that is such an important question that you have asked because when you seed a plant into the ground, do you notice that for some time there is no action? From the top of the soil, you can't see any action, and so you are feeling like, what if the seed is not growing? What if the seed is not germinating? But the change in the beginning is so slow and so non-visible that God actually tests our, ability to stay in that change without seeing any change. I remember the first time back in 2006, I had decided that I'm going to go on a trip with Puneet and come back without fighting. And every trip we would have this one fight, and that whole trip would become, the memory of that trip would become the fight rather than the trip. And so I remember going on one trip right after I had made that decision and we landed up fighting. And I went another 3 months later for another trip, and on the last day, I remember it was a Sunday afternoon and we had not fought up until then, and I was kind of like starting to feel happy that we had done such a good job of the trip, and then again we landed up fighting. And I remember it was only in the third trip that I was able to master what I had decided to do about 6 months before that. And I think this is such an important thing to understand, that when you will make up your mind that you have decided to change, God will test you. God will make the mother-in-law harsher. God will make the challenges more challenging. God will send the problems that will need your growth to happen. And you're going to start to think that, oh my God, here I'm deciding to change, and instead of getting better, it's getting worse. No, sweetheart, it's not actually getting worse. You just have to stay in that energy. These are all tests. These are all exams that you have to pass for you to deserve the evolved state of frequency that you want to move into. Okay, so for everyone here who's feeling stuck, my suggestion is hang in there. The change is happening, but because it's happening under the soil right now, it's not visible, it's not tangible. But you stay in this energy long enough, and the level of change you're going to start to visibly see will be so rewarding that you'll be so happy that when everyone around you was losing patience, you stayed in your patience. Got it? Ma'am, my mother-in-law instigates my husband against me. Whatever I do, even the small household chores, she formulates stories as if I'm doing everything wrong. What to do, ma'am? Fatima, my only suggestion to you would be that, you know what? Sometimes we think that everyone else is blind to our doings, okay? Because someone is winning the battle at this point of time. But you continue to do what you are doing. You continue to be the good soul that you are. You continue to focus on building your life and your energies and your strength. A time will come where your husband will no longer be influenceable for the simple reason, I don't know if that's a word, but sorry about that. But for the simple reason that he's going to start to see through his own mother and he's going to start to see who you are. So I feel like time will eventually reveal the truth. We just have to give it enough time. And sometimes you have to sit with being misunderstood. And that sitting with being misunderstood is so hard that we either stop doing what our duty or what it is that we are doing, or we start to get into the fight at the accusation level. In both, if you get into justification and explanation, you will be lost in justification and explanation. I always say for my community, your sweetest revenge has to be your success. And your success is something you do for yourself, for nobody else but for yourself. And you continue to do it for yourself long enough till others start to move into admiration. And what I've seen is till the time you're doing it for others to see, it never comes. It's only the day you decide to do it for yourself that life changes. Amisha Saxena is saying, ma'am, right now I'm not doing any job. I want to be more confident before I step into any other job. Please tell me something with which I could help myself. Amisha, the way confidence works is you get into what it is you want to do and you gain confidence in the activity rather than before. Okay, so I hear a lot of people saying this kind of sentences where they talk about, I would like to gain confidence before I do something. It doesn't work like that. You have to do it to gain confidence. Let's say I wanted to learn dancing. Okay, if I go learn dancing, eventually I'll become confident in dancing. There's no point in me learning something else to gain confidence to dance eventually. Did you understand what I'm trying to tell you here? So for everybody here who's waiting to become confident, you never wait for confidence, you work for confidence, okay? So anything you want to do, my suggestion, I'd heard this sentence that had a really deep impact on me and it said something like this, that I'm trying to paraphrase it, but you know what? Anything worth doing is worth doing badly in the beginning. Okay? Let me repeat that. Anything worth doing is worth doing badly in the beginning. So I'm going to encourage every single one of you that think big, start small. Think big, start small. And you know what? Sometimes when we are thinking big, no, it's very hard to start small. So I love giving myself this version where I say, you know what, this is my exploration. This is my experiment. And this is when it turns into my enterprise. So I go from exploring, which is my beta version, where I'm allowed to screw up, where I'm allowed to go wrong, where I'm allowed to fail, where I'm allowed to, lose. I give myself that permission and I stay in the energy. Whenever I do anything in the beginning, I know it's going to start bad. Whether it is learning a new art form, a new language, starting a new business, or doing anything in the beginning, my first masterclass, I know I'm not going to be great at it. So I call it the exploration stage. Then I start to tweak the exploration. So I know this is what I did wrong last time. How can I make this better? And I call that the experimentation stage, right? So you go from exploring to experimenting to eventually setting up whatever it is, you becoming an expert or your enterprise. So exploration, experimentation, expert. Some of us want to start at the expert level. Never can happen. It's an artificial expectation that you're having from yourself. Got it? Thank you, everybody. I thought you only buy branded. How How do you like the shirt? No. I'm actually not into brands at all. The only time I buy branded is when I want to buy it for myself. And the question I ask myself when I buy something branded is, if nobody ever saw it or knew I owned it, do I still want to own it? Which means nothing should be bought for me to show off to others, and everything should be bought because it gives me happiness. Oh, thank you, Deepika. Thank you. Saukya Reddy nutritionist wanted to know what's the best one thing to do for ourselves. Also expecting surprises on that particular day is okay or not. Anything that can upset you is not okay, which means you have given your power to someone else. So if your birthday, you want a surprise, my suggestion is create it. This was a created surprise, which means, Puneet, I know this is not the right time to travel, but it would be so nice if we could travel. I know we haven't even cleared our credit card bill from last month, and I'm already adding new expenses. Then my very sweet mom was like, okay, maybe I can afford this trip for you. And that's the thing, once you attract that energy, people will start to pour into that energy, and it's so cute to see. Not that I need anyone's help, but still, having said that, it's always nice to receive gifts. So that was one of the things. So should you be expecting surprises? If you can handle the disappointment of not getting it, please expect anything you like. If you can't handle the disappointment, first learn to handle disappointments, then only expect whatever you want to expect. So I think the most important thing is, to who are you giving away your peace and happiness? On your birthday, to who are you giving away your peace and happiness? Nobody can upset me on my birthday. Because what is it that you expect on your birthday? Gifts, flowers, cards, surprises, wishes, calls. I don't expect any of that. Nothing at all. Anything that I want to give, I'll give myself. I want flowers, I'll give it to myself. I want a card. I actually yesterday was looking at all of my trips to Maldives. So my 30th birthday was here. My 31st birthday was in Maldives. I have a couple of my birthdays in Maldives or places like Maldives, because it seems like that's something I love doing. So Puneet's been taking me to beach resorts for quite a while now as far as my birthday is concerned. And I have a picture, and I'll try to share it in my story today, where I am writing a card to myself. It literally says, "Dearest Pooji," and I've written a whole card to myself. And I'm sitting somewhere in, I don't even know, Thailand. I'll have to see the picture carefully to see where in the world was I when I was writing that card. So I am going to give myself everything that I want. I don't have any expectations. I have cut all of that. The only expectations I have is from the divine, and the divine and I have this beautiful relationship where I keep working towards asking it that, tell me, what else do you need me to do in this world for me to be the bestest version of myself? And that game I love playing with the divine. But from the human being or the earth level, no. If I really wanted to come to Maldives and for any reason Puneet couldn't, I would have come alone. Happily. Like, I'm not joking, without any accusation on him. Now, he happily came with me, so I'm really thrilled and grateful. But if he didn't want to and I felt like I needed this, maybe I wouldn't have come to Maldives, maybe I would have gone to a health farm. Avana, Pema, Nanda, Atmantan. India is now filled with the most amazing health farms where just going and spending a week with yourself is phenomenal. So maybe I would have just done that if I felt like I'm really desperate for a pause. Diksha, how to not be worried about the war situation? I think I've already kind of covered that, so I won't go into too much detail. But my suggestion is, the more unstable your outer, the more stability in your inner. So today, sit down and write out what are all the routines and rituals you can follow. What time would you like to wake up? would you like to do gratitude? Would you like to do some meditation? Would you like to read something which is positive and inspiring? Can you write out your goals? Can you work on your health? These are things no one can take away from you, right? In the middle of the storm, how can you be that calm self? And the more we are calm, the more energy of calm we will put out in the world, the faster the world will have to shift into calm. The more worried, depressed, sad, hurt, all of those negative qualities that we tend to get into when the world starts to get unstable, we contribute to the instability. When we start to actually work with solidness inside, with confidence inside, with the knowingness that this will all work out for the best of humanity, then it becomes so much easier to deal with rather than be worried. So the more strength you gain individually, the more the collective will become stronger. I don't know. Did that land? Did you get that? Shalini is asking, when the mind tells one thing and the heart tells one thing, what to choose, heart or mind? You know what? I do believe that listening to your heart has always worked for me. Okay? So I'm a big believer of let the heart give you the vision, let the mind give you the strategy. Okay? Because the mind operates from fear and the heart operates from love. The heart believes it will all work out and gives you that as your base to make a decision, and the mind tells you what if everything goes wrong. So it shows you the most pessimistic or the most negative situation, that what if everything goes wrong, and then you make your decision from that as your base. So to me, I'm a big follower of my heart, that okay, my heart is saying to do this, but my mind is showing me all that can go wrong if I do that. So what I love to use my mind for is the strategy. So the vision is created by love and the strategy is created by the analytical mind. Got it? So see if you can follow that. Priya, ma'am, my daughter's 12 years old, but she's unable to control urination at night. I've consulted to doctors, but no change. Please suggest. Priya, unfortunately, I am not an expert on this topic, so I won't be able to help you. But please continue to take her to whoever can help. So if doctors can help, great. If a psychiatrist or a psychologist can help, great. But I would love for you to get professional help for it, because by the age of 12, ideally, normally this should have gotten controlled. So if it's not controlled, sometimes these are small tweaks that need to happen for her to have better bladder control. Okay? For every single person who's in the room whose birthday is today or was yesterday or is tomorrow, hello, my Taurian soul sister. Very, very happy birthday to you in advance or belated. Thank you. You're amazing, Pooja, with your understanding. And every time I listen to you, I get more inspired. Thank you so much. Thank you. Neeta's asking, when we face challenges, our self-confidence and faith gets shaken up. Sometimes meditation also doesn't help as the heart is not calm. What to do? Neeta, what I love to do is I like to ask myself, what was this challenge trying to teach me? Okay? And I love also asking myself that, is my faith so weak that it'll get shaken up with this situation? You know, how much time do I need to rebuild that faith back? It's the quality of your questions, sweetheart. The quality of your questions decide the quality of your life. So for me, every challenge is God wanting to give me more and me not being ready with the vessel to receive. And the only way I can increase the size of my vessel is by increasing the size of the challenges that I know how to handle. What is the difference between an Elon Musk and me? Elon Musk's bandwidth to handle challenges is 100 times greater than mine. What is the difference between you and me? My ability or my bandwidth to handle challenges may be 10 times greater than yours. So it's all about going on increasing your bandwidth. Now, how does someone increase their bandwidth? There are two ways someone increases their bandwidth. One is by facing the challenges that God is sending to us and becoming supremely amazing at handling them without turning victim. And the second is actually by creating challenges in our life that take us towards a better future. So I can either handle having arthritis, or I can create a challenge by going to the gym and giving myself growth pains so that arthritis never comes. For some of us, we're going to have to face the life's tunes because we haven't made great decisions, and we have to learn to face them and learn from it and make our life better. And for some of us, we are going to be easily able to create a beautiful, amazing journey in regard to what is it that I need to do. You know, something that I'm feeling very attracted to. I recently went for a lunch with one of my friends, and I was complaining to her how all this travel has put my weight right back onto my body and face, and I had become so good with my discipline, and I'm feeling so out of discipline. And she said, I don't know if you've tried fasting on Mondays. And I remember a time in my life where I was extremely the kind who would fast almost twice or thrice a week, and it's so good for your health. And our religions understand that at such a deep level, which is why you'll see there is the Rosas, the Lents, the Hindu fasting, the Jain fasting. Every religion understood the science of fasting. And I said, I want to bring back fasting in my life in a big way. So I know that this challenge has been put in my life for me to be able to find another new way to grow my bandwidth to become somebody who's now going to become brilliant at fasting. So I'm just giving you a very random example, but I want you to start to understand that our heart will not be calm till the time we keep asking God, why me? But our heart will be very calm if we start giving the meaning to the why me. This is me because God's choosing me to become a great person. Why me? Because this is what will grow my vessel. Why me? Because, and then you start to give it positive connotations of empowerment and inspiration. And you will start to see challenges becoming fun. Challenges becoming like, it'll take you 15 minutes to go from, oh gosh, why is this happening, to how can I handle it to grow my bandwidth? What can I do to grow my bandwidth? Got it? Truth_void is asking how to come out of low energies if it has been the base frequency throughout your life. Very simple. Gratitude, gratitude, gratitude. The easiest way to increase or improve your life situation without changing anything is to move into deep gratitude. You have to become an intelligent detective. Okay, and I'm going to use these words, intelligent detective, to find the goodness in your life. So you woke up this morning, thank you God, in a world where there were people who didn't wake up, I woke up this morning. Okay, you had a hot shower this morning in a world where there is cold water or there is no shower or people are not able to bathe because of lack of water. I got to have a beautiful hot shower, and you are going to have to, with a, what do you call that? You know what I'm talking about, right? Microscope. With a microscope, you're going to have to start to examine and look at your life to find the good. And in the beginning, there will definitely be more bad than good. So you will have to be very, very smart about doing this. And with time, it will naturally start to flow. You will start to see a difference within 21 days. Your frequency will start to change. 21 days of becoming an intellectual detective to find the goodness in your life. And this is my guarantee to you. Come back and tell me if your life didn't change by you doing gratitude every single day. And I want these gratitudes to be written, not mental. Because the minute something will happen, we will move right back into the lower frequencies. When you write it, it moves into the permanent side of your brain. And I need for you to do 21 days of deep gratitude. Today, thanks to Dr. Joe Dispenza, I understand the chemical shift, the physiological shift, the biological shift, the complete hormone shift that happens when we change the frequency of our body, and we can literally go from being unhealthy to super healthy. By doing 21 days of gratitude, you can literally cure diseases. I'm not joking. Take it up as a challenge and come and prove me wrong. Nabi Charcoal. Whenever my boss asks me a question, even though I know the answer, I'm not able to answer for I feel embarrassed. And Nabi, that would be a great thing for you to start to practice. Okay, so I'd love for you to start to practice in front of the mirror every single day, you answering questions. So our mind does not know the difference between what's happening to us in reality and what it is we do in our, mind's eye or in our imagination. So I want you to spend a lot of time in your imagination answering questions to your boss, that when in reality that situation shows up, your body does not go into embarrassment or any other form of whatever emotions you're feeling, but has so practiced that naturally, I don't know if you've seen the movie Karate Kid. I highly recommend you watch Karate Kid, for in that movie you will see how this child is continuously being told to practice something where he feels that has no connection to karate, and then how on the day of the match, he uses all that he had been practicing naturally to win that particular match. And it's such a wonderful way for us to understand that what we do in our life personally eventually shows up in life when we have to perform in any way. So it's so important that we practice anything that we are not able to do. I was not able to do Insta Lives when I started out, 5 years ago. I remember being so conscious. I remember writing down questions in advance that what if nobody asks me anything, what the hell am I going to do? And I remember only 10, 12 people used to show up in the beginning. And I literally used to make it up like Madhu is asking and read out some random question. There was no Madhu on the page. But I was like, okay, till I don't get this right, I'm going to have to keep on pretending and practicing till I can get it right. Got it? So I feel like a lot of us need to put ourselves through a lot more in our life, so that we can become prepared for the real stuff of our life. Got it? Thank you, everyone. I really am humbled by the level of wishes that every single one of you is sending. Deep gratitude. And I want you to know that every wish that you are sending to me converts into what I call the blessing and turns into luck. And all of the luck that I'm going to have this month is going to come from your blessings and the good karma you are sending me. So really appreciate it. Every wish is turning into a blessing and filling up my good karma account. So thank you so much. Oh, Zainab is like, you look like an angel. It's your eyes, my Jan. It's your eyes, and thank you. Shrimans, ma'am, how to deal with a narcissist, emotional manipulator? Please help. So, Shrimans, one of the most important things we have to understand about a narcissist or an emotional manipulator is to stop giving them enough to manipulate us on. Which means for some time we have to ignore them and build our life without giving them any importance or any attention. Now, when we take away importance and attention from a narcissist, he's going to double his game to get more attention and more importance. This is where it will get revealed to you where all does this person have power over you. And you have to make sure you go on a 2-year journey to remove all that power that he has over you. Whether it is emotionally, whether it is in love, whether it is through money, whether it is through your relatives, whether it is through, I don't know how they are controlling you. What I know is a narcissist always has 2 toolboxes. One to hurt you and one to control you. And when they control you, you will start to get grateful because they will do things for you in a manner where you'll be like, maybe something's changing. And just when you decide that it's changing, they will hurt you. Okay? And so that's how they play the whole game. You have to get out of that vicious cycle of good, bad, good, bad, good, bad, good, bad. The apology and the hurt, the apology and the hurt, or they being very nice to your family but being horrible to you. I don't know how they are using this against you. What I know is the reason why a narcissist wins is because they know how to play the dual game. to take you on top of the pedestal, throw you down. Take you on top, throw you down. That's the game. And once you start to see the game, then you no longer, when you are put on the pedestal, feel the joy, because you know this is how they play it. Okay, some people do it with materialism. They'll go buy you the most beautiful diamond bangles and then hurt the hell out of you the rest of the month, till a point comes where you get scared of their purchases because you know they are going to use it against you. So all of this, so the way you go about this whole journey is that you start to take control. You say, I don't want diamond bangles. I don't want anything that he or she have to offer me. What I want is my control back on my own life. Yes. With who have you come to Maldives? With my husband. My very sweet husband, who's right now gone to the gym. Today is a very, very rainy day in Maldives. It is raining. I'm just stepping out to show you the beautiful ocean at the back. It's really gorgeous. It really feels like heaven. It's just so heavenly. Like if I had to draw heaven on earth, for me it would be Maldives. You know, I just love this place so much. Something happens to me when I'm around water, and today though it's water everywhere. The pool is water, the sea is water, the sky is water. So on my birthday, God is like, how much water do you want? And he's given me like water in every possible way. And that's the beautiful pool. ऐसा पति मुझे भी मिले. अरे मैं तो सबके लिए प्रे करती हूँ, बट उसके लिए ऐसी बीवी भी तो बनना जरूरी है. ऐसा पति मिलता नहीं है, ऐसा पति बनाना पड़ता है. और अगर आपको ऐसा पति चाहिए तो उसके लिए एक बहुत अच्छी बीवी बनना पड़ता है. Okay, and that is something I teach, so you can anytime join me to make you the bestest, cutest, loveliest wife in the world. Oops, it's raining, so I don't wanna. Alright, we're already at 10:50, so I am gonna start to. Okay, I can take one more question before I move into wrapping up. How to set stronger boundaries at work and in your personal life? This is Carrie Tooth Fairy asking how to set stronger boundaries in work and in your personal life. That's a beautiful question. Again, I think boundary setting is such an important topic. How I like to set my boundaries is normally by asking myself, what is it I need to do for them to behave in the way I want them to behave? Okay, and I love to share it with everybody the sandwich technique, which is once I know I've identified this is what I need from this particular person, or how I need them not to behave, or how I need them to behave, then I communicate it in the sandwich technique, which is I first thank them. So let's say a friend is coming into my house without asking me. I'm just taking any random example. And I now know that I need her to inform me before she comes to my house, if that's what I want from her. So the thing is, you know what, I'm so happy, or I will be just showing a gratitude to her that thank you so much for being so close to me that you think you can come into my house anytime you like. So I'm literally going to thank her for the exact thing that I'm going to check her. Okay, so let's say somebody is done movie tickets for me without asking me and now pressurizing me to come for the movie. Or let's say somebody's asked me to come for a particular kitty that I don't want to join and is pressurizing me to join the kitty. Or let's say somebody is, let's take a work thing. So somebody at 7 o'clock in the evening every day decides to give me work for another hour and expects me to stay back at work, and that's becoming a pattern. So you can take any example you like. So first I will thank them that you think I'm so responsible that you can trust me with this work, and I'm so happy that you have this kind of faith in my work. So always thank them for whatever it is that you're going to eventually check them with. Then move into the checking, which I call the Karela sandwich. So thank them. And then comes the Karela. However, it's becoming very hard for me to stay every evening without informing my family, because I have commitments at home that I need to keep to. So while I will stay back today, from tomorrow you please need to tell me in advance, or I will not be able to stay back, and I will hate saying no to you, because you know what, I love how much trust we have with each other. However, going forward, you will need to let me know at least 48 hours in advance if there is anything that you need me to do to stay back or anything. So what I'm doing here is I'm setting it very clearly after thanking them. If you want to buy tickets for me, you're going to have to ask me. You can't buy the tickets and then pressurize me. So whatever it is I need from them, this is where I will be vocal, I will be open, sweetly, but I will be open. And then I will always end with what is the perfect scenario for me. Okay, And so another way of letting them know, you know what I would really like is, and I'll move into that and thank them again. So I'm thanking them right in the beginning. Then I am telling them what is not okay, and then I'm telling what would be the perfect thing for you to do for me. When you say it in this manner, it doesn't feel defensive to the other person. You're not accusing, you are just explaining your part of the story, and those who are sensitive will get it. So I'd love for you to use this sandwich technique and see how it works, and then you can keep tweaking it to your taste, Make sure sometimes you have to make the karela very bitter, sometimes cucumber se bhi kaam chal jata hai na? Zen, as I repeat in every live of yours, hoping you read it once, you saved my marriage with these lives. Thank you so much. Wow. That's so beautiful, Zen. So always happy to read things like this. That an Insta live could save your marriage, or that Insta lives could save your marriage, is such a lovely, comforting thought for me, because it reminds me why I do what I do, and why I do them from all my holidays, all my trips, all of my travels. No matter what happens, I keep coming back to serve this 1 hour every week. So for those of you who show up and appreciate and go out of your way, I just want you to know it means so much to me, because there was a time in my life where I wasn't sure if I'm adding any value. Now, of course, after every life, to be very honest, I get messages after messages in my DMs of what changed, what shifted, how their life has changed, and some of the DMs are so beautiful. Rather, I think on this special day, I would love for you to DM me if you have a particular concept. I don't want you to praise the Insta lives or praise me, but I'd love to know if there was a single concept that changed something in your life. If you can DM me that Pooja, you shared savers and I started to do savers, and because of that my life has changed and become so much better. I feel so much more solid. Any of the exercises or tools that have actually worked for you through any of the Insta lives, if you can share with me in my DM. This time around, what I'll do is I'll actually share the DMs directly in my stories. As a gift to me, you can send me all of your testimonials of how these Insta lives have worked. I have never ever collected a testimonial for the Insta lives. Never needed to. But I just feel like it's such a wonderful thing to know that just 3, 4, 5 minutes of talking on a concept can change someone's life, or save someone's marriage, or whatever else is the results that you've gotten. And I'd love to hear those kind of results. So Zen, special thank you. I think of all the birthday gifts that I'm going to get today, yours is the ultimate in telling me that, Pooja, these Insta lives truly make a difference in my life. So thank you. All right, it's 10:56. Let's get some pictures. I should stop fiddling with my hair first. Oops. It's raining. Okay, let's get this kind of picture. Ta-ra-ra. I don't even know how to pose today. Heart won't come. What should I do? This will come or what? Nothing will come. I don't want the bed at the back. Yeah, this is better. Super. For all of you who are asking how to react to the war, make yourself solid is my answer. How to react to whatever is happening. Have faith in the government. Have faith in our systems. Have faith in being an Indian, a proud Indian. Knowing that, we will do the best we need to do for our people. What has happened recently has been really bad. Of course, I'm not for war at all. If given the option, I have a feeling, nor is our country. We as a country have never been the first attackers in the last 1,000 years. As a country, we do not attack unless we are attacked. So this is all in self-defense. This is not we are not an attacking nation. Imagine if you go and study the history of India, you will know that India never attacks first. So I think we can be so proud of this fact that, we are not a nation that promotes war, wants war. We are a nation that wants good economy. And you know what? The economy gets hit immediately when the war happens. And I know how pro-economy everyone is in our country right now. We are really interested in building because we have the largest population of youth in the world. We have the largest working population of youth. We are in such an advantageous situation. India overall is in such an advantageous situation. Our people are doing so much to make this country a better place. So you know what, when the country needs to do something, if it needs to do it, we must as citizens support it. So for everyone who's asking how to deal with this war, be a very proud Indian and have faith in your country, in the people who are leading it in every possible way, because that's the best thing you can do for yourself right now. And become super strong in your habits, in your rituals, in your routines, in your health, in your finances. You start to work towards becoming the best version of yourself. Leave the rest for the country to handle. Okay? Okay, on that note, I am going to run. I'm only 1 minute away. So I just want to say thank you so much for coming. You guys are just amazing. And for all the birthday wishes, I don't even know if I've been able to read all of them or not. But I just want you to know I have received every single one of them, even if I couldn't read every single one of them. Yeah? Thank you so much, everyone. Love you. If I haven't been able to take your question, it is only because of the interest of time, as well as just too many questions there. What can I do? I would have loved to have, for those of you who kept repeating your questions, whatever I could see, I have answered. But my personal apologies. I hate it when somebody writes out a question and I'm not able to answer it. So apologies on that. But having said that, I hope you got some answer from some other question that can then be related to your question. Hai na? Love you all. Thank you so much. Bye bye.